everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday night principal broadcast sponsored by DE and Band of Brothers around the world. Hey, big day today. I got to go to Cleveland University, Cleveland Chiropractic College, whatever you want to call it, and speak to the DE Club. First time I spoke at Cleveland to the DE Club. It was fantastic. And we were just talking. Maria is our speaker. Maria Temples is our speaker tonight. And we were just talking behind stage, and she was saying that her first DE was when her first month in practice, but she never heard of DE while she went to Life University. She was at Life University all that time, had Rebecca as a clinician and a teacher and Dr. Paul as her clinician, and still never heard of DE. And then somehow or another, Rebecca turned her on to Dr. Brian Lieberman, and Dr. Brian Lieberman talked her into coming to DE, and now she's speaking on this broadcast. So that's a fantastic story. It just blows me away that people could go to a school for 4 years and not have in Atlanta and not have a clue about DE. But before I introduce her, I got to tell you, at the last DE, she made this for me. And I know she made it for a couple others, but I feel so blessed. Isn't that flipping awesome? Did you get that? Flipping awesome. I can say that. Dr. Umber won't give me a letter for that, but thank you, Rebecca, Maria. I appreciate that so much. So before we get started with her, a little bit laundry to take care of. DE, next DE is in October at the Perimeter in Atlanta, and so make sure you get signed up for the Atlanta in October, and join. If you haven't joined the DE club or the DE membership, consider doing that, because it's the cheapest way to be a part of DE, and it's the best way to be a part of DE. You get to go to all the DEs, as well as you get to go back and look at or listen to and watch old DEs. So I strongly suggest you do that and sign up today for that, and then get registered for the next upcoming DE. Get your hotel, get your flights, get ready. Let's get ready for this. So I think also we have a DE intensive, I think this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. It's in South Carolina at Sherman, and I may be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's coming up. I don't know if she has a flyer about that, but there is a DE intensive at Sherman coming up soon. Sorry about that. I'm not exact sure on the date there. So with no further ado, let's get Maria on the stage and let her talk. Take over, Maria.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Andy, for that wonderful introduction. So like Andy said, I've been in practice for 4 years, and my first DE was a month after I graduated. And thank you, courtesy of Brian Lieberman and Dr. Rebecca, who brought me to my first DE. And it's been a journey over the last 4 years ever since. I can definitely say that. And the best way that I can talk about what DE has done for me over these last 4 years is to talk about just this past DE on Tim Zook's presentation. And if you were there, you saw all of those other people come onto the stage with those signs saying everything that was holding them back before they found DE. And then you flip that card around and it shows them now and everything that they've learned and let go of and discovered. And though I didn't participate directly into that, I was sitting there and I was thinking of all the things of what my card would say. And before I came to DE, fresh out of school, I was very insecure and I was very scared, as most new graduates are. And I was very, very introverted. Very introverted. Some of you, if you were there, remember my first DE of April 2022 in Sarasota. And if you remember that, I didn't talk to anybody. I walked into a room where everybody was hugging and chatting, and I'm not a hugger. So when everybody starts coming up to you and starts wanting to hug you, it sets off a bit of like the panic alarms. And and I was thinking about how that was me and how so many things over the last 4 years and continuing to come to DE and have people pour into me, and even from the stage and from personal relationships, it's changed a lot. And so, number one, I'm not as insecure anymore. I used to have no confidence, not only in my adjusting skills, but as a person or as a doctor. I definitely suffered from what people obviously call imposter syndrome. It's, if you don't know it, it's the I have achieved this title or this goal, but I don't feel like I deserve it. I don't feel like this should be me. Like, who let me be a doctor? I was 25 when I graduated chiropractic school. And I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, obviously, we knew what we're doing because we have the credentials, we get the degree, we pass all of the boards. Um, but still, the confidence wasn't there. And DE has helped change that for me because I've realized that I know what I'm doing. I can be a confident person. And the biggest lie that we tell ourselves in imposter syndrome is I'm not good enough. Well, I know that, thank you, DE, I am good enough. I am worthy. And it helps kind of break down that wall. The second thing is that I was scared, right? Not only of people and adjusting, but almost everything else. I wasn't a people person. I didn't know how to connect with people. Even my first few months in practice, connection with patients was one of my hardest things because there were certain things that I didn't know how to respond to. There were situations that patients were going through that I didn't know how to respond, and it kind of comes out as sounding very insensitive and kind of robotic. Through several relationships and conversations through DE, I've realized that I needed to let the educated brain go and talk from the heart and through innate. And that's definitely helped over the last 4 years connect and have amazing relationships with patients now. And one of the things that I'm valued for at the office that I'm at is my compassion and my ability to connect with certain patients. And I think that's an amazing turnaround when I look back at the last 4 years. And the last one, obviously, is I was a huge introvert. Now, don't get me wrong, I still am an introvert at heart. But it's changed so much, as in the fact that I don't panic when strangers talk to me anymore. I don't, I call it default to my mime self, where I completely shut down and just kind of stare blankly at like deer in headlights when people try to talk to me, or even when people try to hug me. Now, I'm still not a hugger by nature, but my favorite thing that has changed is that although maybe on the street I'm not a hugger, or even in my own office, I don't hug all of my patients, at DE, something in my brain switches that I can't wait to get into that room and hug almost everybody. There are those people that I can't wait to run up and give them the biggest hug. And you guys know them all too, right? Those people that it's like that place feels like home to all of us. Um, so it feels like a big family reunion. And so the thing with that is all of those things over the last 4 years would not have been possible for me to change without DE. And it's the things with all of the relationships and the friends that I've made has poured into me and poured into my husband. If you're lucky enough to know my husband, Trenton Temples, you guys have poured into him as well. And over the last 4 years that he's been coming and I've been coming, like our not only we have changed as people, or I've changed as a doctor, but we've changed together. And so now it's like our dreams are fully aligned. His dream is aligned with mine, like it always has been, but now in a much more clear direction. Going back to the I was scared, I had thoughts and ideas that I thought were of grandeur that I never thought were going to be possible. And I thought they were crazy. Like, I can't open my own practice. I can't see this number of patients. And now I realize that was ridiculous because my own limitation is what I set on myself. So I have these goals now, and steps are in place now to us literally having almost accomplish goals that I never would have thought possible and would not have thought possible unless I had DE. And I'm so grateful for everybody that I have met and that's poured into me over these last 4 years to help those goals become a reality. And some of the most valuable lessons that you learn through some people are not necessarily even in the room. Sometimes it's that conversation over lunch. It's that conversation by the pool. It's, hey, let's like sit together at breakfast and have a quick chat. It's those small moments that don't take place necessarily in the room that are also the most impactful. Even going to DE over these last 4 years, of course, we all still learn lessons, right? There's people that come to DE or have been coming to DE for 20, 30, 40, 50 years that still come and still pick up something of value to change or to bring home to their own office or to their own lives. And that happened for me last year, that we were going through a really difficult time trying to sell our home. And I was doing all of the things I thought that we should be doing. We were praying, we were manifesting, I was seeing in my mind's eye, making it happen, trying to see it sold, and it just wasn't happening. And at the April DE, I had a conversation with Dr. Rebecca, and I was telling her all the things that we were doing, and it just wasn't happening. And she says the simplest thing: did you write it down? The yellow legal pad. Did you write it down? And I had not been writing it down. I've been saying the words in my head, I've been saying it out loud, but I had not put it on paper. I didn't give it an absolute like, this is when I'm going to sell my home. This is when I'm going to move into my new home. And it was the simplest thing that I can't believe I didn't think of, because of course it's one of the biggest lessons at DE that we learn, is to write it down on that yellow legal pad. So when I got home, we wrote it down. I will sell my home by June. We will be in our new house by July. And the craziest thing happened is a month later, in May, right about the time of my birthday, we got not one, but 2 offers on our house that had now been on the market for about 10 months. And I thought it was crazy that it's like, this is amazing on how this actually works. And so I was so happy to go back for the July DE and be able to share at Parade of Stars that the week after that DE, we will be closing on our brand new home. And today we've been in that house for now a year. And so again, another lesson that I would not have remembered or would not have learned if it wasn't for the relationships and the lessons that we learn at DE. So for new grads out there or newer doctors out there that are still in that doubting themselves phase of life, that don't think that you're worthy, that think that you're on an island of your own, come to DE, because I promise you, you're not. There are a million people in that room that are ready to root for you and love on you and pour into you to help make you be the best doctor, person, spouse that you can possibly be. I love and appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And that's all I've got for tonight.
Yellow legal pad. Write it down. Put it in your head, put it in your heart, write it down, manifest it. Boom, done. That was awesome. Thank you. I cannot believe, I have a hard time believing you're not a hugger, because you give the best freaking hugs at DE, and I see you going all over the room giving them a hug. It's amazing.
I do now.
It's like your alter ego, right?
It is my alter ego. If you ask my husband, I'm still very much the introvert at home, but Dee, like I said, that switch goes off that it's just like, I'm going to go hug people.
That's amazing. I would have never thought of that. So I got a little inside of you that I had no clue of. That was fantastic. So listen, people, a lot of gold nuggets from a young doctor, a rising star in chiropractic. And you could feel her heart. And if you get to know her at DE, you know her heart. It's a pure, beautiful thing. And she just dropped it down there. Write it down. Think it, write it down, say it out loud, manifest what it is, whatever your goal is. Just keep dreaming bigger, right? Say yes. All righty. Everybody, good night. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Great job, Maria.
Thank you.
Thank you.